City 19 Premier League goals against Manchester United, which is quite a lot. Only against Liverpool has he conceded as many. His statistics aren't great, but he hasn't played that much football over the course of the last couple of years. I think he is a major upgrade for them. He's got a brilliant personality. He's so good around the dressing room, and they needed a little bit of extra experience as well, and he's certainly going to bring that.
Irrelevant to what he can bring Southampton, I think Southampton have been a real bonus for him to play some football again. You know, really important for him.
But I did wonder, going from Arsenal, who were chasing for the Premier League title, to coming to Southampton, who were obviously scraping to stay in the competition. Do you think it's a downgrade for him, or is it where what he needs right now, as you say?
Well, it's a downgrade in football clubs in regard to their aspirations. But listen, there's 60,000 people sit and watch a game, and he's one of them at the Emirates, you know what I mean? So he's not playing. The game's all about, especially at his age, play football.
And the other thing is, Reshman, sorry to interrupt, is that there weren't that many other takers for him, because he was relatively expensive. There's not that much money swilling around the game, and not many people at this moment in time in the Premier League needed a new goalkeeper. The fact that he's had an opportunity to play Premier League football on a regular basis, that's a bonus. That doesn't always happen.
Yep, it doesn't always happen. And it is happening today. I wonder if you can hear the decibels rising significantly, because the teams are heading out onto the pitch now. And it's a big game, it's fair to say, for both of these sides, even at this early stage of the season. Manchester United do have Southampton's number in the Premier League. They're unbeaten in their last 12 against the Saints. It's a run which dates back to August 2003, but lose today, and it'll be 3 consecutive top-flight defeats for United for the first time since December 2015. That was under Louis van Gaal, and that included a 2-1 defeat against Norwich City. Their captain that day was none other than the now Saints boss, Russell Martin. I wonder if he's going to be a bit of an omen today. So the 3 top-flight defeats then for United. 3 could also be the magic number for Southampton, not in a good way though, because after another defeat today, and they would be the first team to lose their first 4 in a row in 3 different campaigns. Everyone loves a record, but today I think would be a day to avoid them. Is just win at all costs, whatever happens. Everyone is on their feet here at St Mary's. Everyone is in anticipation of what really is, as I say, even at this early stage of the season, a huge game for both Southampton and Manchester United, and both of their bosses as well. So, as the teams get ready to rise to the occasion and the Premier League hoarding gets taken down, the pitch is almost ready for kick-off in about 3 minutes' time. I'm going to hand you back or over to our commentary team then, the former Nottingham Forest, Man City and England defender and manager Stuart Pearce. But first, TalkSport's chief football commentator Sam Matterface.
Thanks, Reshman. Hello, everyone. It's been a week of debates. Harris versus Trump. Is Carsley a contender for the England job? Can you judge Grealish, Angel, Gomez and Trent against Ireland and Finland? Should Russell Martin stick to his principles? Will Ten Hag last until the next international break? Well, over the next 90 minutes we will attempt to shed light on at least the last 2 of those subjects. After missteps, losing focus and generally shooting themselves in the foot, both managers have found themselves verbally sparring with reporters and supporters in recent weeks. Russell Martin seems a little bit more certain about the direction he wants his team to travel, but his players have made more errors leading to goals than anyone else. Erik Ten Hag's rhetoric has, like his team, appeared to lose its flow. Too many stumbles, and occasionally he's forgotten what he said just seconds before. Victory and the narrative changes. Defeat and the scrutiny will get more intense. Results are king, talk is cheap, and Southampton haven't won yet. United have lost the last 2. They haven't lost 3 of their opening 4 league games for 38 years. It's time to give their fans something to shout about. This is TalkSport. We're live at St Mary's. Another massive day of live Premier League action. This is the first of 3 live commentaries today. The game game from the Etihad on TalkSport 2 at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and at 8 tonight, a bonus for you, Bournemouth against Chelsea, only on TalkSport from the Vitality Stadium. We're round the grounds with Adrian Dunn at 2:30, live over on TalkSport 2 right now. Leeds against Burnley from the Championship. All the football, all the time. You know it makes sense. It's got to be TalkSport. Southampton in red and white stripes with a subtle razzle-dazzle design on the sleeves and the back of the shirt. Black shorts. They'll attack the goal away to our left in the first half. United in navy blue with a subtle all-over M monogram pattern, silver Adidas stripes on the shoulders and a silver Manchester United crest on the left breast. Our referee is Stuart Atwell. United attacking the goal away to our right, and actions speak louder than words, so as that all starts, let's grab a word with Stuart Pearce. Is it the case for Manchester United that only victory counts today?
I think so, without a doubt. I think even a point for them today will give them 4 points out of 4 games. They'll be very, very disappointed with that. But
ball's bounced kindly for Rashford on the edge of the penalty area, but the foul was committed deep inside his own half in opposition territory by Diogo Dalot, who had led the charge over on the left-hand side. And Dalot, who'd scored in the international break in the game against Croatia, he scored the first goal in the match where Cristiano Ronaldo got his 900th during that international break. We've just played a minute. It's 0-0 between Southampton and Manchester United, live on TalkSport. Ramsdale's kicked the ball up through the middle towards Fernandes. Matheus Fernandes tries to just allow the ball to run through to Cameron Archer, but it comes back very quickly, and Rashford is sent down the left by Fernandes into the far corner of the field. He can't get there. He's held off by Bednarek, and it's out of play and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
Just looking at Brereton Diaz playing on this left-hand side, bit not your normal position for him.
No, he does sort of sometimes play as a sort of tucked-in striker from the left-hand side if he's going to play anywhere. But I thought it would be interesting to see where they utilise him. They brought into the team, obviously, the youngster Tyler Dibbling, who scored for the England under-19s, actually, on Tuesday. He's come over to that right-hand side as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares. Quick word on what just happened there with the playing out from the back. Aaron Ramsdale went long up through the middle, right into the chest of Cameron Archer when he was taking a goal kick.
Yeah, well, listen, common sense really. You go long, all of a sudden United sit off a little bit, then you play out from the back. That's that common sense approach that we spoke about pre-game.
Here is Flynn Downs. Tyler Dibbing comes in from the right-hand side into the centre circle, gives it back to Bednarek, and he will stroll out in the sunshine up to halfway. Left by Ugochukwu, picked up just in behind the main striker by Fernandes. And once again, the ball is at the feet of a Southampton player in those red and white shirts. Carl Walker-Peters jinks in past Amad Diallo, midway inside Manchester United territory, back to the halfway line. They go with the ball, Southampton. They keep possession well. They might top the list of most errors leading to a goal this season, but Manchester United are second on that chart. When they lost against Liverpool 2 weeks ago, it was the first time they conceded 3 goals due to errors in a Premier League game since records began in 2008. So we might have an interesting day of people trying to avoid making mistakes.
Just looking at Russell Martin there, he's just Ramsdale's hit a ball, the big diagonal to sort of Diaz out on this left wing here, and he's just giving him the thumbs up. Well done, keep doing it. So it might be a tactic that they've looked at, you know.
Well, he's big and physical, Ben Brereton Diaz, and he's got a point to prove, actually. I think many people in Chile thought that he was treated harshly this week by the international coach, who dragged him off after 34 minutes of a game against Bolivia. And he's the only number 9 really that they have in the squad at this moment in time, so taking him off and changing the focal point certainly didn't help. They've won the ball high up here, Southampton. Into Cameron Archer it goes. It's won back by Mazraoui and Amad Diallo. Mazraoui, who is playing on the right-hand side. Diego Dalot on the left for Manchester United. United lost the ball inside their own half, but then have regained it and moved out the other side back to Amad Diallo on this near touchline. Bruno Fernandes caught by Brereton Diaz, who doesn't mind a tackle, in front of Ten Hag, who's wearing a sort of half puffer jacket, half cardigan down in front of us, with brown corduroy slacks on and Adidas black trainers. hands behind his back, standing on the postage stamp of the technical area, watching on as his team look to build from the back. 5 minutes gone. It's Southampton 0, Manchester United 0, live on Talk Sport. Here is Bruno Fernandes, just left of the centre circle, moving into opposition territory. It's gone out wide towards Eriksen and then into Rashford, who tries to cut in. He's beaten to it by Jack Stevens, who pinches the ball, does well, plays it out down the right-hand side and does very well to find Fernandes, who he picks the ball up just in from the touchline over on that left-hand side. Wycombe have taken the lead Northampton have taken the lead against Wycombe by a 1-0. A penalty by Hoskins after just 4 minutes, and Newport are behind away at Swindon as well, who for the first time in 14 years have failed to win any of their opening 5 games. And there's quite a few games in the EFL kicking off at 12:30. I mentioned that Leeds-Burnley game, which is live on TalkSport 2 in the Championship, but Millwall, Luton, Oxford United against Stoke. In League One, Mansfield against Cambridge United at Field Mill. Northampton already 1-0 up against Wycombe, and Wimbledon MK Dons at Plough Lane. Big game. Swindon against Newport as well. That's 12:30. United have possession on halfway. And Rashford pings it forward. Not the best diagonal ball. It's cut out by Carl Walker-Peters, who just moves in from left back into the centre of midfield. Wins it. Nogachuk will try and send Archer down the left channel. Didn't quite come off for them and goes all the way back to Andre Onana. Been a bit of a cagey start, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I like Southampton's press. They've narrowed off with a sort of front six, if you like. 2 holders, and the 2 wide players are just coming in and just condensing play. So if United are going to play round and play out, they've got to go round it, get on the outside. That'll put a bit of onus onto the United fullbacks to get forward and support their wide players.
Southampton have lost their opening 3 Premier League matches. They've only managed just the 1 goal, and that really echoes some of the trends that followed them last season. Last year they probably had the opportunity to outscore more opponents because Armstrong, etc., could find the net in the Championship. It hasn't been as easy in the Premier League. Good turn by Dibbling down the right hand side to get the better of Diogo Dalot. Burst towards the edge of the box. He's still got the ball. Sends it towards the far corner. It's a great save by Onana. Out towards the right hand side. He pushes it clear. Dibbling with a brilliant mazy run. Gets to the edge of the penalty area. His left-footed shot saved. Still Southampton have it. Down the left side. Into the box they go. Carl Walker-Peters with a cross. It's blocked by Mazraoui. And it breaks into midfield, but it's a Southampton body that gets there first, and they've had the first shot in anger, Stuart Pearce.
They certainly have. An incredible run there by Dibbling, just cut in, opened the goal up a little bit, killed it into the far corner, and Onana at full stretch just parried it away.
Well, he's made 5 appearances last season, including 1 in the Championship for them last campaign, Tyler Dibbling, but he is certainly already showing that he could be an asset in the Premier League for them. He's tall, he's lanky, he's very thin. He's still only a teenager. And he is looking as if he has got the beating of Dalot so far. Ball into the box by Brereton Diaz. It almost snuck through to Archer as he went down the left-hand side. Southampton on the attack again. Matheus Fernandes nudges it back to Stevens, and Matheus Fernandes goes down the right-hand side. Across comes Lisandro Martinez. Fernandes gets there, holds it up well, gives it to Dibbling, who's on the far corner, plays it sensibly into Flynn Downs, who tries to turn past Mainu and Eriksen and almost squeezed through, and De Ligt had to come across on the edge of the Manchester United penalty area and get it away. Good start, Southampton, 0-0.
Yeah, the one thing I would say, they've started with real confidence, Southampton. We're talking about them bringing the ball out and playing out from the back, but all through the thirds, I think they've showed real confidence on the ball, belying a team that haven't got a point at the moment. Manchester
United looking to avoid 3 consecutive Premier League defeats within a season for the first time since December 2015 under Louis van Gaal. Here is Ramsdale on the edge of his own D, sends it out towards the far side. Sugawara takes it out of the sky beautifully and then cuts infield, moves up into an advanced position, just 10 yards in front of the centre circle, goes back to Flynn Downs, who once again they've taken from West Ham United. Flynn Downs started all 3 Premier League games, former England under-20 international midfielder. Helped by Stevens out wide to Brereton Diaz, who plays it down the left channel again, and Archer trying to burst beyond De Ligt, almost got there, but Onana was alert to it and came out 45 degrees to the edge of his 6-yard box and slid and gathered it up before Archer could get in.
I tell you what, Diaz has played 2 really intelligent balls there. The first, that one just then, just a fraction short, and Onana come out and helped his defence out. The one prior to that, he's played it, and I don't think Archer was on the same wavelength as him when he pulled one back, but certainly a couple of intelligent passes there.
Well, Archer only just getting his first start today in the Southampton team, so there's still a few connections and relationships to sort of develop here, but certainly the sign's been promising in the opening 10 minutes of the game for Southampton, who have certainly looked the most likely. I don't think Manchester United have entered their opponent's penalty area yet. We played 10 minutes. Ball given away by Kobbie Mainoo. Turnover by Flynn Downs. Collected by Fernandes. Out wide it goes to Brereton Diaz. Now it's back infield with Ugachukwu. All the way to halfway. Stevens has it once again. Luton have taken the lead away at Millwall. Tedam Mengi with a goal after 11 minutes. Luton have won just one of their last 8 league visits to the Den. And they're in front in the Championship. Here it's goalless. Kyle Walker-Peters with his shirt untucked at the waist, his socks pulled up right up over the knee, and looking to try and toss the ball in from this left-hand side. And Southampton looking to capitalise on a bright start here.
It's interesting. Normally when Manchester United go to town historically, and I'm going back a number of years here, they put you on the back foot, they dominate the football, and it's been anything but that here today, with Southampton looking by far the better side in possession.
Yeah, and better in possession and better out of possession as well, Stuart. He kept the ball in down this left-hand side with Kyle Walker-Peters after winning it high up. Archer inside the penalty area, tries to turn, played it against the arm of the defender, claims for handball, referee says no, Mazraoui brings it clear. It doesn't get that clear because Ugachukwu has won it back again, and he's jinked to the edge of the box. Archer now, right-footed shot, blocked by Eriksson, popped into the air, and Manchester United are struggling to get out of their own penalty area. It's flicked away by Dallow eventually, but it's Southampton who are smothering them and winning the ball back high up inside their own territory.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic start. Good interaction on the edge of the box, little give and goes, and United at full stretch to make sure they keep Southampton at bay.
Flynn Downs going down the right-hand side, travelling out to the far side, and Martinez kicking the ball out of play off him and catching him too. It goes out for a throw, and then Lisandro Martinez just turned to Matthias de Ligt and says, come across, get closer to me. It's all a little bit too gappy at this moment in time. Manchester United on the back foot.
Yeah, they certainly are. They just need a phase of play and just take the heat out of the game at the moment, but they've been a little bit disappointing up front, keeping hold of the ball. On that occasion, Xerxes gone down cheaply, looking for a cheap foul that he wasn't going to get.
Northampton 1, Wycombe 1 in League One. Wycombe did the double over Northampton last season, and they've had to come back already from a goal down. Ball cleared by Eriksson into the air. Drop for Fernandes here, takes it inside the centre circle, but loses out to Ugachukwu, who's stronger and wanted it more. Brereton Diaz takes it down the left side, plays it into Archer, holds it up well, returns it to Brereton Diaz. They need someone in the box. There's no one there at this moment in time as Southampton come on the attack once again. Down by the left corner flag, goes back to Walker-Peters. But again, Manchester United not really able to get out of their own half at this moment in time, and it's a real worry for Erik ten Hag, who's gone back, sat down inside his technical area. Sugawara with an intelligent ball down the right side, just a little bit too heavy for Tyler Dibbing to get there ahead of Diogo Dallow, and it goes out of play and away for a goal kick, and Manchester United can get a bit of a breather.
Yeah, at this moment in time, Southampton probing, looking for that little pass, the interaction, the give and go on the edge of the box. United have been at semi-full stretch to make sure that they've not got on the secondary ball.
You're listening to Southampton 0, Manchester United 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Don't forget, we can stream more Sky Sports football than ever before, available with no contract on Now, like Aston Villa versus Everton live today. Search Now Sports. Scorelines from elsewhere in the Championship. Leeds 0, Burnley 0 on TalkSport 2. If you want to listen to it, get our app. You can flick between the two stations. Millwall 0, Luton 1, Oxford 0, Stoke 0. In League 1, Mansfield 0, Cambridge 0, Northampton 1, Wycombe 1. AFC Women have taken the lead against MK Dons. They lead by a goal to 0, and Swindon are 1-0 up against Newport. You're up to date on TalkSport Game Day. Here is Lisandro Martinez. to Eriksson, a little half turn, and he pops it forward to Bruno Fernandes, who helps it on as Manchester United come on a rare attack. They get to the byline down the right side with Amad Diallo, who jinks into the penalty area, trying to find an opening, gives it to Eriksson, who sends it towards Xerxes. First time shot, saved brilliantly by Ramsdale, who scrambles across his goal, takes it full in the chest, and Southampton smuggle it clear. That was good football for Manchester United. The first chance they've had an opportunity to play, and they cut Southampton apart.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it was that man Martinez at the back. He found a great pass that broke the lines, and from that moment on, United looked a real danger in and around Southampton's box, and Xerxes managed to get just not enough on it, sent it goalwards, and Ramsdale got his body across.
Yeah, he scored in the victory for the Netherlands over Bosnia and Herzegovina on Saturday, did Joshua Xerxes, after coming off the bench and scoring for his Manchester United on his debut at the Stretford end. It wasn't really in the game down at Brighton after coming off the bench, and certainly didn't heavily feature in the match against Liverpool till late on in the second half, where he had a couple of good chances that on another day they may have converted. Anana gets it back from the edge of his own penalty area from Mazraoui, and then manages to clear under pressure. Fernandes has it, then Mainu, and maybe Manchester United, having weathered that early storm, now starting to find their rhythm, because they're playing in the right channel with Amad Diallo, who's got a lot of green grass to run into. He cuts in on his left foot once again, needs someone to pass the ball to. Diogo Dalot on the edge of the penalty area is the one who picks it up. Rashford, then on to Diogo Dalot again, low cross into the box, it comes off the defender Bednarek, and it goes behind and away for the first corner of the game for Manchester United. 16 gone, goalless.
Well, probably for 14.5 minutes of that, it's been Southampton's game, but United all of a sudden have had two real good phases of play, and they've cut Southampton open, got in behind them. Once ended up with an effort at goal, the second one just cut out, and we got a resulting corner.
Well, Manchester United have got a new set-piece coach. Let's see if they can conjure a set-piece goals from corners. They have been historically pretty poor. Here's the cross from Eriksson into the near post, away by Sugawara. Comes back out to Mazraoui, who hits it on the volley straight down the throat of Aaron Ramsdale.
Good strike there. It was up in the air, and you thought, well, this could go absolutely anywhere, and he'd done really well to keep it under control, but straight down the throat of the goalkeeper.
Manchester United come into this game in 14th, comprehensively thrashed last time out by Liverpool. They need to show they've learnt from that performance. They can't afford anything but 3 points today, but they are going to be in a game. Flynn Downs charges forward down the centre left for Southampton. Out wider it goes into Walker-Peters, then touched back to the edge of the centre circle, for Bednarek. Wider by Stevens, out to Sugawara, who's out by the far touchline. Hugging that touchline is Tyler Dibbling, who just languidly nudges the ball back into Fernandes, who keeps things moving at the heart of midfield. He is their attacking midfield creative hub today. Matheus Fernandes picked up from Portuguese football. He played for Portugal's under-21s in the 2-0 win away at Croatia on Tuesday. And this is his first start in a Southampton jersey in the Premier League. He won the ball and got it all the way back to Ramsdale. Downs. And this is Jack Stevens on the right edge of his own penalty area, up to Sugawara, and then into Dibbling. That's good football. Drops off on the halfway line, plays right across the face of the pitch towards this near side, and Walker-Peters now collected by Brereton Diaz, and then infield to Ugochukwu. He plays a good ball down the left side, where Walker-Peters has made an intelligent run. He gets to the byline and then goes past De Ligt like he's not even there, and then sends it to the edge of the 6-yard box, and there's no one to finish it. But Matthijs De Ligt was in a world of trouble there. Manchester United look to counter-attack. Amad Diallo picks it up, holds off Ugochukwu, sends it to the edge of the box. Fernandes is arriving. Took a little flick on the way through, did it? Goes out for a goal kick. Fernandes says no. It should have been a corner kick. Stuart Atwell, who did get up with play, says it went wide. And that was a little bit of what maybe the Southampton supporters are afraid of, having a great chance at one end and then being overexposed at the other. Stuart Pearce.
Well, United have had 3 good chances in a game that they've had very little of the ball, you would say. First up to our left-hand side, it was Walker-Peters went past De Ligt, done him an absolute treat with a dummy, got him behind, couldn't find a pass, and then United swept up the pitch, and Fernandes angled just too tight for him.
Burnley have taken the lead away at Leeds. It's a goal after 18 minutes over on TalkSport 2 that gives Scott Parker's team the lead. 2 goals early on for Swindon at home to Newport. They lead by 2-0. That goal for Burnley, by the way, being scored by Luca Koleosho. Problems here inside the Southampton half for a Manchester United player.
Yeah, it was physical contact there.
Rashford,
the ball's come up in the air. No, Mazraoui, is it? Down. And it was Brereton Diaz that was physically stronger than him on the challenge.
Live football for you a little bit later on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. We've got loads of live football upcoming today. Around the grounds with Adrian Durham, Darren Bent, Troy Deeney. Manchester City versus Brentford is live on TalkSport 2 with Ian Danter and Perry Groves. 8 o'clock tonight, Bournemouth against Chelsea. I wonder what Chelsea team's going to be involved in that. I wonder what Chelsea owner's going to turn up to that game. You know, we talked about splitting the dressing room before, but splitting the boardroom?
It's all happening in football.
It's all happening. It's all happening. As you said to me, as a casual side earlier, football's gone nuts, hasn't it, eh?
It has gone that way.
Tomorrow, Sunday Session comes live from Fratton Park. Well, I had to do a double take there because in front of me it says that Dean Ashton's part of the Sunday Session tomorrow. I didn't know that, and I'm absolutely delighted that he is. That's probably because we can't take Perry to Spurs, I would have thought. Here on the far side is Tyler Dibbling. Gets to the edge of the penalty area and then tries to turn it back towards the right-hand side. Yeah, so the Sunday Session fully stacked tomorrow. Dean Ashton, Perry Groves and I'll be at Fratton Park. Bino will be at the North London Derby. And Perry Groves, we're sending him as far away from the North London Derby as possible. He's going to Wolves. Southampton on the attack, 21.5 minutes gone. Walker-Peters down the left-hand side, tries to take on Bruno Fernandes, produces a lovely cross into the area, but everyone was sort of coming back rather than going towards the ball because he'd checked it on his right foot, so they had to come back out again, and that just meant that there was no one quite on his wavelength.
Just looking at Southampton playing through United a little bit too easily through the central areas. They've got the mark of United on that scenario, but certainly when they try to play through Southampton, they've looked very accomplished at it as well.
The ball's been won by Archer and then turned over very quickly again just inside the centre circle. Manchester United a little bit misshapen, and Lisandro Martinez has to intervene before Brereton Diaz can find Cameron Archer, who went through the centre there. But yeah, I mean, Southampton don't look like the team that are second bottom for the table, have scored 1 goal and haven't got a point yet.
No, nowhere near it. As I say, they've been pretty impressive. The only downside, you would say, in the question mark, is the fact United have been closer to scoring.
Sugawara on the right-hand side's got the better of Dalot. Into the penalty area he goes, and his shot is blocked by De Ligt inside the 6-yard box as he cut in from the right side onto his left foot, shot goalwards, and he's forced another saving tackle out of Matthijs De Ligt. 3-0 to Swindon at the county ground. Here it's 0-0, but Southampton have had the best chances and the best of the play. Even if Manchester United have 1 or 2 really good opportunities, certainly so far it's advantage to Southampton.
Yeah, it's been a really open game, very kind on the eye, I've got to say, and De Ligt there, fantastic interception right in front of his goalkeeper.
Needed to take charge of that situation. He had a bad international break. He was hauled off by Ronald Koeman after making an error for the Netherlands in the international break, which was quite brutal actually. But he didn't have the best of games against Liverpool either the other Sunday when we were at Anfield, at Old Trafford. Ball sent down the right by Southampton, who are bossing this at this moment in time. Downs into the right wing position. Back to Sugawara. Can he produce a cross? He can. Brereton Diaz will attack it, but Mazraoui just got in front of him and held him off, and it goes behind and away for the goal kick. It has been very effective for Southampton. They've had opportunities, and Arna's made a couple of saves. There's been some blocks in there too, but I almost get the feeling that this game is also set up for Manchester United to hit on the counter-attack, something that is very much in their comfort zone.
Well, they've certainly shown that on a couple of occasions already in this game. There's no doubt about that. The first goal was, the longer this game goes on, the first goal I think is going to have a big influence on this game and the outcome. Just looking at that cross that went in the box, Diaz, just not enough loft on it to give Diaz the opportunity at the far post.
Dalot keeping the ball in far side, sending it back to Onana, but it wasn't a great ball back to him, and then Onana had to scramble to keep it in and stop it from going for a corner, and ended up kicking it out for a throw into Southampton on the far side. 25 gone, clouds in the sky, but the sun certainly peeking through down on the south coast. On what quite temperate conditions. The ball brilliantly worked out to the far side for Southampton again, and then the ball infield wasn't brilliant from Sugawara, and it was cleared away up to Amad Diallo by Manchester United. Diallo, who has seen a lot of the ball on this near side because he can hold it quite well, he keeps it better than most, plays it infield to Mainu, who's ragdolled by Ugachukwu, and then he grabbed the ball there, Mainu, on the floor, and he gets a booking.
Rightly so. Good refereeing by Stuart Atwell there. Mainu's decided he was fouled in his own mind, and as he's gone down he thought, you know what, I'll put my hands on the ball, as a lot of players do, thinking they're going to get the foul their way, but sadly not.
To get our Betfair Sportsbook bet builder in now, we only need both teams to score and Manchester United to win, and we get our 15-1 accumulator coming in for the Bobby Moore fund. There we go. 26 gone. You're listening to Talk Sport. Ball with Jack Stevens, clips it forward towards Archer. De Ligt steals a march in front of him and then nudges it back into midfield, but it's Southampton who quickly rescue the ball. Eric Ten Hag has said that the players are frustrated with the results that they've had so far this season too, but they trust his process, he says. Diogo Dalot, one of those this week who said United are in a better place than their recent setbacks suggest. He's having a bit of a tough time with Tyler Dibbing over on the far side, and Dibbling has been hauled down by the Portuguese, and it's a free kick just in from the corner flag.
Yeah, he's had a good start to the game, Dibbling, and it's interesting to see. He's certainly a devotee of Jack Grealish, looking at his mannerisms and how he carries himself. But he certainly started the game very well.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's had a very good start to proceedings, Tyler Dibbling. He does have that sort of wispy way about him, doesn't he? That sort of classic winger look, head sort of almost down on his chest. He looks a little bit like Chris Waddle back in the day with his shirt untucked.
Yeah, he certainly does. I've never ever been able to rock that wispy way. More crusty is the style of play that people associate with myself.
Only 18, born in Exeter. He's had a spell at Exeter as well. Did have a brief period back at Chelsea. Ball in towards Ugachukwu, rises from the set piece and heads it goalwards. It's over the top of the crossbar.
I tell you what, this should have been a better option than he actually made out. He moved, he was he's just looking at the replay, he was 7 yards out, unopposed. United will be absolutely, Ten Hag will be very disappointed with his defenders. No one jumped with him, and he should really be hitting the target or scoring.
That's a great chance for Leslie Ugachukwu, who got up highest, headed the ball goalwards. It's over the top of the crossbar. The man on loan from Chelsea. Here is Lisandro Martinez. 20 yards in front of the penalty area, way to our left, the penalty area that Manchester United are defending. Their supporters over in the far corner from us. We're midway between the edge of the penalty area that Andre Onana is trying to defend and the centre circle. We're in the Manchester United half today, and straight opposite us, and just maybe a shade to the left, in the corner of this one-tiered bowl, which is probably about 25 years old now, are the Manchester United fans who are in fine voice. And their team might need them to be today to keep encouraging them as they come forward down the right-hand side. De Ligt sends away Diallo. Amad Diallo cuts in onto his left foot, tries a shot, takes a deflection. That takes the power out of it, and it bounces into the arms of Aaron Ramsdale, the Southampton goalkeeper.
Yeah, Diallo's desperate to get in on that left foot and open the goal up. Walker-Peters has got to be mindful of that. Keep him outside if he possibly can.
Game day phone in tonight with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy on from 5:30 today till 7:30. Huddersfield Giants against Warrington Wolves at the same time over on TalkSport 2. I know you'll be tuned into that, Stuart Pearce.
I'll be home in time for that one.
I wondered if you... I'm surprised you haven't got any Warrington Wolves gear on today. Or can I just not see it underneath that jumper?
No, I've not got none on. I was thinking about bringing the coat. I didn't think it would be that cold. How wrong was I?
No, you're a little bit chilly, are you?
A little bit.
Southampton 0, Manchester United 0, Leeds 0, Burnley 1, Millwall 0, Luton 1, Oxford 0, Stoke 0. They're the championship scores. Do League 1 and 2 in just a second. But Dibbling, once again, is going on the outside and beating Dallow. Dallow dives in. That's a penalty. Well, he's had the beating of him. He's been causing him problems for the entire first 30 minutes, and Tyler Dibbling, the 18-year-old, has just gone down the outside of the Portuguese, got into the box, and he has been felled by Diego Dallow, and it's a penalty to Southampton.
Well, he's had a tough day already, Dallow, and he's gone to ground there, nibbling with probably his wrong foot, I would suggest. Be interesting to see a close-up of this, but my first thoughts were it was a definite penalty. That's a penalty. Whether it's inside or outside the box is the contentious issue. It's a penalty. He's got nowhere near the ball. He's gone to ground. He's taken the player out. For me, it's a penalty. Yeah, I think it's on the line. I think the contact on the line and continues inside the box. So I think the only thing that might save Manchester United is a matter of geography. It's just narrowly outside. But I'm not sure that's going to be overturned, because I think they've probably checked it and said that it was inside the penalty area by now, you would have thought. But the way they're lining up and looking at proceedings, it does look as if that is the case. VAR will check it, but I think it has been checked and cleared. So as a result of that, it is going to be Andre Onana against Cameron Archer. Yeah, it's a real tight one. It's dead on the line, but listen, if we want more goals in the game, it was poor defending, no doubt about that, and he struggled to deal with this young man. Dibbling from the start.
Well, Andre Onana has been shepherded back to his goal line. Archer has placed the ball down. Archer has scored twice for Southampton since joining the club. He scored in the League Cup at Cardiff at the end of August in a 5-3 victory. He has placed the ball down on the spot now. And St Mary's rises to watch what could be his first goal here in Southampton colours. They bought him because they needed goals. They needed someone to score Premier League quality goals. He is a goal scorer, Cameron Archer. He's shown that at Aston Villa and where else he has been. Middlesbrough on loan and then back again. And now a chance to open his Premier League account for Southampton. He takes 2 strides back, curves his right, steps up, right-footed, and it's saved by the goalkeeper and then headed back into his arms. And Southampton, who have been gifted a golden opportunity, have fluffed their lines. Cameron Archer with a golden chance to put them in front, and he's missed it. Saved to his right by Onana, it popped up into the air and Archer's headers back to him was tame.
Well, could end up being expensive that. The bottom line is good save by Onana, not enough pace on the ball to beat him. He went down to his right and got a really strong hand to it and then dealt with the resulting header.
It was a poor penalty really, Stuart, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Not enough pace on it really.
Well, Southampton have only scored 1 goal this season, and they're not going to get a better opportunity than that today. And Archer has to put that behind him. I mentioned it in a couple of matches this season. When you join a new club and you get a chance like that, you've got to grab it. Sometimes it's a sliding doors moment as to how your whole career is going to go at that football club. You score on your home debut like that, all of a sudden you're flying, things go in the right direction. If you don't, it can bog you down.
As I say, he'll be very pleased to hear that you've written off his whole career now on the back of that, Sam. Well done.
I wasn't writing off his whole career.
That's very kind of you.
I said it's a sliding doors moment. Sometimes these things are important, aren't they?
In context of this game, it certainly is important, I think. You know, that would have put United on the back foot, the pressures they've been under.
Here is Rashford up towards Xerxes. He takes it on and plays it back to Rashford. A bit of a let off for Manchester United. Xerxes with an effort down towards the near corner. It's only narrowly wide. It's stopped by Ramsdale. I think he got a glove on that. It was a great chance for Joshua Xerxes, who struck it well and firmly down to the bottom right corner from the edge of the box, and across went Ramsdale to tip it round the post.
Yeah, it was a good save by the goalkeeper. Went down low to his right-hand side, and good interaction between Xerxes and Rashford there to set the opportunity up. And it just goes to show, if that nestles in the corner, that penalty miss.
That's a terrific save from Aaron Ramsdale. It really is. You're listening to Southampton nil, Manchester United nil on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has 450 branches with all the vehicles your business needs. Corner taken short. Fernandes with the cross towards the far post. De Ligt with the header into the far corner, and he's scored. Manchester United are in front with 10 minutes to go before half-time. The ball sent short from the corner to the edge of the 18-yard box. Fernandes lifts the ball towards the back edge of the 6-yard area. It's headed back across the face of goal by Matthias de Ligt, who rose highest, thundered the header beyond Ramsdale, and Manchester United, who survived the big scare at one end, have scored at the other.
Well, I'm not massively sure that they deserve this lead, but you miss a penalty at one end, and to compound the problem, as we were speaking of, the ball hits the back of your net, and really, really poor defending. They've all come out, the whole back line's come out en masse, bar one defender, and I'm just looking at the replay, not sure who it is. And United were queuing up at that back post to head it in. Xerxes, De Ligt, and it was De Ligt who got there first and had the simplest of tasks. It was Stevens. Stevens was the only one left in when all the back line squeezed up.
Now Matthias de Ligt, whose international break was difficult, has turned up and answered some of those critics with an excellent header back across the face of goal. But the inquest will go on once again. Southampton dominating the play. Southampton having golden chances. Southampton in charge of the football match. But the scoreline reads Southampton nil, Manchester United 1.
And as I say, aside from the goal as well, Sam, there's been probably 2 or 3 other incidents where you thought, oh, United have breached the back line a little bit too easily, potentially.
Here is Sugawara taking a free kick at the other end, delivering the ball in towards Ugachukwu. Another big strong header by De Ligt, who heads it out towards this near side, kept alive by Archer, back by Sugawara. Manchester United lead by a goal to nil. First goal for Manchester United for Matthias de Ligt. Downs, Dibbling, back into Walker-Peters, who scoots past Fernandes, and then Fernandes actually does well to win it back, but then Walker-Peters continues his run, and he's still putting pressure on the Manchester United defence. Mazraoui, who's gone out to the left-back role at this moment in time after the free kick, is then tussling still with Walker-Peters. The ball bounces towards his near side, and then Fernandes lifts it over his head and tries to work a way out for Amad Diallo. But Southampton's pressure is good, and they've kept them inside their own half. I wonder if they're just, I mean, maybe that they've adjusted here, or maybe that actually they are just misshapen from the set piece. But Sugawara has come out to almost make up as a third centre half for a moment. Here is Mazraoui getting a 1-2 on the edge of the box with Rashford. Rashford trying to keep it alive. Brereton Diaz dives in. Ball back into Mainu, then Fernandes, tackled by Mateus Fernandes tries to bring it through the middle of the pitch and then plays it out to Jack Stevens. There's no out ball for him. He keeps looking, he's still looking, and eventually clips it up into the United half and straight into the chest of Lisandro Martinez. Xerxes takes it down brilliantly, sweeps it into Amad Diallo. It's good work from him. Diallo to the edge of the penalty area, shifts it on to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes works it onto his right foot. It clatters into the mid-drift of Stevens and breaks in the penalty area for Fernandes again. Southampton defend it well, take it out to the far side and look to play out from the back and get the ball up quickly and away from danger. 39 gone, Southampton nil, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, I tell you a side of the game that I don't think either team have done particularly well, whether it be Archer up one end or Xerxes out the other. The hold-up play, you know, when you've got to battle for the ball and try and get hold of it for your team. I think both of them have been a little bit disappointing in that front.
On the scoreboard here, by the way, we have an explanation from the Premier League Match Centre, which is available on X. The referee awarding a penalty for a foul on Tyler Dibbling by Diogo Dalot, after the referee's call was that the event happened inside the penalty area. VAR checked it and confirmed that it was inside the penalty area. There you go. Ball round the corner by Brereton Diaz, out towards this near touchline. It's collected now by Fernandez of Southampton, who sets it back up for Flynn Downs, edge of the box. Oh, he's fallen over. He's picked the ball up on the edge of the 18-yard box and then just crumpled. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if he stumbled or what, but he just sort of seemed to crumple to the floor. Here's Rashford at the other end, into the box, up against Ramsdale. Ramsdale comes out, makes a big save from Rashford. Tight angle, went straight at him really, but he came out and made himself huge. And that obscured maybe Rashford's view of the goal, and it goes out for a corner. But another counter-attack causes problems for Southampton.
Yeah, and they're really sharp on the counter-attack, United, as well, as you'd expect with the pace they got in these front areas. And as you say, they have a good phase of possession in United's half, and all of a sudden, as soon as United sweep up the pitch, and that could have put the game beyond Southampton.
Southampton 0, Manchester United 1. The latest odds are available at Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage. Right now you can get Southampton to win at 16-5. United even money, the draw 21-10. That's all thanks to Betfair, who are paying out and winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute guarantee. BeGambleAware.org. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. Ball towards the edge of the area. Rashford tries to curl it. It sneaks all the way through. Right-footed from 45 degrees. Ramsdale can't see it through the melee of players in front of him, and it sneaks into the far corner. And Manchester United, who have been pretty mediocre for 41 minutes, have a 2-goal lead.
Well, it's incredible how games swing on certain chances. We'll track it back to that penalty miss or penalty save earlier, and all of a sudden United can't believe their luck. They're going in at half-time potentially 2-0 up, and on the run of play Southampton have been slightly better, but United have certainly opened them up on occasion when they've had opportunities to do so.
Marcus Rashford's first goal of the season. A beautiful curler from the edge of the penalty area. It's gone past 1, 2, and then a third. Outstretched left hand of Ramsdale, couldn't get there. It came through a crowd of players, almost went round De Ligt as a away post, who was inside a congested penalty area, and into the far corner.
See, Ramsdale's looked at it and he thought, is a defender going to touch it? Is De Ligt going to get a touch on it? And he's delayed his movement of his feet and his dive until it's gone past them. By the time it goes past them, you've got no reaction time.
He'll be furious about that. They've conceded 2 goals in the space of 6 minutes after really dominating this game. Bruno Fernandes from distance shoots, it takes a deflection and goes behind and away for a corner on this near side. 2-0 to Manchester United, live on TalkSport at the home of Southampton St Mary's. It's not been a particularly good fixture for Southampton over the years. They haven't beaten Manchester United here for a very long time, and they are going to have to come up with a comeback of all comebacks if they're going to do that today. 2-0 before half-time. Manchester United now in a comfortable position despite having quite an uncomfortable first 35 minutes. Ball in towards the back edge of the penalty area from the set piece, headed away by Bednarek this time. And then back in by Mazraoui, in towards Dalot. Dalot tees it up. De Ligt with a second chance, blocked by Ramsdale. Terrific goalkeeping, but where on earth were the Southampton defence? They parted like the Red Sea. As soon as the ball went into the box, they disappeared. And there were just a flood of Manchester United jerseys, and Ramsdale, who has got his arms in the air outstretched as if to say, where on earth did everybody go?
You've explained it really well. The whole back line pushed up on that occasion, very similar to the earlier goal, the first goal. my goodness, why Southampton, the whole back line are running out away from goal. United said, OK, that's fine, you can do that, but we're going to run into your box and time our runs well. And, well, if that would have been resulting in a goal, Sam, this game's well and truly beyond Southampton.
44 minutes on the clock. Southampton 0, Manchester United 2. And look, the team's defensive record over the last few years has been tricky, but they've conceded a lot of goals now, Southampton, in their first 4 fixtures of this season. It's a cause for concern, because it was a cause for concern in the Championship.
See, if you look at their general play, I've been quite buoyed up by what I've seen by Southampton. I think they've played with confidence, they've knocked the ball around well, they've not took liberties at the back, they just haven't defended particularly well.
And they're so vulnerable to the counter-attack, because the high line just pushes up. I mean, the two things that really help Manchester United here is that Southampton are likely to make an error playing out from the back, and if they don't do that and they occupy the ball inside your half of the field, their high line means there's an opportunity for you to counter-attack, and they've done that on a couple of occasions and they've profited from it, and as a result they lead by 2-0. Set pieces have been difficult for them as well. Actually, I think both the goals came via set pieces, recharged set pieces, and Manchester United will go in at the break with a cushion and the opportunity to win on the south coast. And the other thing is, the 2 goals at the end of the first half of that just deflates the atmosphere inside St Mary's, and that will sneak onto the pitch, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree, because if you're a Saints fan, you'd be looking at the general run of play, ball on the penalty spot with Archer earlier, and you think, well, we've done really well today. Goalkeeper saves it, all of a sudden 10 minutes later or so you're 2-0 down. You think, well, where did that come from?
Well, does it come from tactical naivety? Because that's what some of the more critical Southampton fans will say.
Well, I think playing out from the back was the tagline leading into the game. I don't think any of the goals in this game or any of the general mistakes within their defensive work has come from playing out from the back and overplaying.
But the set pieces from which they've conceded have come from counter-attacks.
Yeah, and poor defending, squeezing out, leaving a player in on his own, and then squeezing out together and failing to track runners.
Lisandro Martinez plays the ball through the centre circle on the halfway. Just to the right of that is Bruno Fernandes. Mazraoui comes forward, plays it further out to the right. It's collected by Bruno Fernandes. 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. A first half in which Southampton have done particularly well for the large part. The biggest problem is they've conceded 2 goals, which is not particularly helpful if you're trying to win a football match. And they've had 53% of the ball. They've had 5 attempts, 3 on goal, missed the penalty. But Manchester United have had the greater number of attempts, most of those coming on the counter-attack after Southampton have lost the ball inside opposition territory. But that big moment, that big turning point of the game, probably when Cameron Archer sends the penalty too close to Andre Onana. He makes a save, and Archer couldn't put in the rebound. It remains 2-0 to Manchester United. Half-time, Wimbledon lead MK Dons by a goal to nil. Swindon are 4-0 up against Newport in the first half. 1-1 Northampton, Wickham in League One. Mansfield are 1-0 up against Cambridge. 0-0 Oxford Stoke. And Millwall 0, Luton 2 is the latest scoreline from the Championship. And over on TalkSport 2, Burnley still in front. Luka Kolyosha with the only goal of that game on TalkSport 2. The goals here. Marcus Rashford's first of the campaign for Manchester United. He's never scored for Manchester United at St Mary's before. He has done now. And the first goal coming from Matthijs de Ligt, his first goal in Manchester United colours. Here he is on the ball, deep inside his own territory. Back to Martinez. Martinez across to Diogo Dalot. Had been an entertaining game up until Manchester United went 2-0 in front, because at 2-0 it just makes it a little bit less competitive, doesn't it?
I think it's been a super first half. I've got to say, to sit here as a neutral, I've really enjoyed the game. I think there's been plenty of efforts at both ends of the pitch. it's not been a coy game by any standards, you know, and it looks as though there could be more goals in it.
Well, it certainly was fun until it got to the point where Manchester United had that cushion. Now they have that cushion, they can play the game in slightly different way. There is the half-time whistle. Well, after a sketchy start to the season, Manchester United required a show of strength on the south coast, and thanks to De Ligt and Rashford, they're well on their way to achieving that. However, I don't think that tells you the full story of a 45 minutes in which Southampton really were the better side until Manchester United scored, but they are just 45 minutes away from a fourth straight defeat, and they're already at a bit of a crossroads. At half-time, it is Southampton 0, Manchester United 2.
Sam Matterface, thank you very much. Players heading down the tunnel. Some of the fans are heading up for a little half-time break, and the break will certainly be needed for this Southampton side. They're going to have to gather their thoughts, reflect on that performance. They don't have long because they're going to try and come back in this second half if they're to avoid defeat against this United side. And it's a side that they really stood up against in the early exchanges of that game, Stuart Pearce, dominating possession, as we heard there. They had that penalty. That proved that miss from Cameron Archer proved to be so decisive for Manchester United. Minutes later, Matthijs de Ligt scored, and Marcus Rashford as well, 6 minutes after that. And if you're United, are you lucky to be ahead because of the defensive errors of Southampton? Would you say they're lucky, or have they earned that?
I would say they're quite fortunate. You know, they've come up against a side that have been very loose with their defending and gifted them a couple of goals. You know, be very disappointed with their defensive work, Southampton. But the other side, two sides of it really, you're looking. I wasn't expecting to see a Southampton team to come out and play with the confidence they did, certainly for the up until, well, the penalty and just beyond, and you thought, well, you thoroughly deserve to be in front if Archer scores. And then from that moment on, you always think, oh, is there a sting in the tail on the penalty? And there certainly was. There was an opportunity before the goal, then the goal, and then another, you know, just defensive errors. It was just down to the team pushing up from corners. Firstly, leaving Stevens in, that played everybody on side, and second time out as well, just squeezing up and leaving too much space there, and they really paid the penalty, and it's tough on them. But it's the Premier League, you know, it's unforgiving.
So it's the system they're wedded to, which again is proving to be their undoing.
I don't think the system really. You know, they're just defensive mistakes that you want a bit of leadership within your ranks and a bit of collective get-together. You almost look at it and think, I wonder if all week they've practiced playing out from the back and playing through the thirds and doing all the nice things in the game and not concentrated.
It almost feels like that, doesn't it? On the basics.
On the basics of, look, let's defend and keep a good, solid, clean sheet and devote a bit of time to that. I may be totally wrong. I'm not inside the Southampton back line, but they were certainly two mistakes that had been very costly.
What would you have done differently? You would have marshalled that defence, wouldn't you? You would have got them all in line.
Well, put it this way, you can't leave one person in, because United, they had 2 or 3 players waiting to score when Stevens played them on side. I'm pretty sure it was Stevens. I hope I'm not doing him a disservice. And prior to that, I think Ramsdale will be a little bit disappointed with a goal that come through bodies as well, because he's waited for someone to get a touch on it. You know, I'm no goalkeeper, but I think you've got to move your feet accordingly, even if you're waiting for a potential touch or not. By the time he planted himself and thought, is there going to be a touch there, he's got too much to do on the dive.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? If you're Russell Martin, what are you telling your team in this half-time break then? Do they stick to their principles? Is he going to make changes in that back line? Does he have the players to make that backline more effective against this United side, who will take their opportunity when it's there?
Look, if you make things tighter at the back, you can't win the game. You know what I mean? The bottom line is he's 2 goals down. He needs to get the next goal in this game. I personally don't think there's changes afoot at this moment in time. I'll be surprised if he does, because I think in general play his team haven't done too badly.
No, they've been really entertaining to watch, haven't they?
They certainly have, and it's been a brilliant game for if you're a neutral.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed the game, but the bottom line is they've got to be a little bit more clinical in stopping United counter-attack quickly, because they'll do that this half without a doubt. They're good at that. Xerxes and Rashford, they're a handful. And on top of that, they're going to need and desperately need the next goal.
They desperately do need the next goal. United, though, hanging on to the 2 they have. It's been a really, as we say, entertaining first half.